Good morning and welcome to the GHS Reporter. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, and I'm Andre Valverde. A number of full year and half-year electives are up for grabs in the English department. Here are descriptions of a few.
All right, the Holocaust through literature. It's an elective for 12th graders get priority, but 11th graders are allowed to get in if there's room. It's a half-year course, and it's a course that focuses on the Holocaust, but through the lens of literature. So we read books, we read short stories, we look at poems and plays and videos, things like that, all regarding the Holocaust. So it gives us a different background than what you might get in a history class. And a lot of students who've read Night in 10th grade especially want to know more about the Holocaust, and it would be much like that. What's neat about this course is that we do look at the perspective we look at the Holocaust from different perspectives. So we look at it from obviously the perpetrators, but the rescuers, the survivors, and the bystanders. So we look at lots of different perspectives. And then the course culminates at the end with looking at Holocausts and genocides that have happened since the one in World War II that we're familiar with. So we do look at Darfur and Rwanda and Sudan, things like that.
SUPA stands for Syracuse University Project Advance, and it's actually 2 one-semester courses. So at Guilderland, you sign up for both, and they're linked, but the first half of the year is a separate Syracuse University course, and it focuses on writing instruction. So you learn about the kinds of academic writing that you would do in a college class, just as the freshmen on Syracuse University's campus are learning it. So the course it doesn't mimic a college class, but it actually is the same course that's given on the campus, and you can opt to take the course for Syracuse University credit. 3 credits per semester. And then the second half of the year is a literature-based course. You still do some writing, but the focus is on literature, and we mainly read short pieces of literature like poetry and short stories. It's a portfolio model, which means that each semester you work on compiling your work and then doing a reflection on that work. So at the end you would have a portfolio that you could present to someone if you were ever inclined to do so. And then the second semester, it's a separate portfolio because it's a different course, and you work on compiling the best of your work to be presented at the end of the semester. So there's not a test that you're preparing for. It's more engaging with and reflecting upon your own work over the course of the semester.
Okay. Hey, this is Mr. Maycock. I'm here to tell you about digital broadcasting, news, and sports. You can see this is our team that works on the morning show. And here we are, live streaming a basketball game from the GHS gym. If you join this class, you can be part of our news writing, news production team. So, give this course some consideration.
Sports is a half-year course. Also priorities given to seniors, but juniors are allowed to get in if there's room. Sports can take we can look at sports in different ways, but typically we look at what sports means to society, what sports means to an individual. We in the past have looked at race relationships within sports. I mean, this year was a huge one with taking a knee, during the national anthem. That gave us a little information or something to research. And then we will often also look at just current events. When the North Carolina cheating scandal happened, that was right in the middle of a sports class. So we stopped everything and looked at that. So we look at sports through literature as well. So there's reading involved, but a lot of current events and a lot of just talking about what sports mean to people and what sports means to life.
Okay.
So in creative writing, we encourage experimentation with a number of different genres. So for example, right now I have students that are writing narratives, students who are finishing up writing college essays and polishing them to go out to the schools they're applying to. I have students who are writing chapters from novels that they're working on. One is a spy novel, one is science fiction. We have a few poets. And so each day I try to present some opportunities for writing that students can take me up on, but they also have the chance to focus on their own, the work that they've made choices about working on for long term. So we dip into a bunch of genres, and then we pick a focus and work on it for sometimes a week, sometimes 3 weeks.
If you like movies, we have a couple of English electives you might want to consider. One is called Cinema as Literature, where we look at movies the way that we've looked at books throughout your English career. We study character and symbolism and theme and tone and structure by watching films and then talking about them and writing about them. We also offer a course called Screenwriting, which is a more creative course where we analyze the way films are structured and the way stories are told, and then we work on writing our own. So by the end of the course, students have written part of a feature film and maybe part of a TV pilot also. Netflix and other online providers are just dying and desperate for content. So this is a great time to be a screenwriter and a TV writer. So I think this course would be good for a lot of people. You can't go wrong with either of these courses if you like movies.
Hi, my name is Mr. Lodico. I teach conflict, justice, and peace here in the Social Studies department. It's a half-year elective. One thing about this course, it's brand new, it just started this year, and I'm not reteaching U.S. wars. I'm not going to reteach what was learned in 8th grade, what was learned in maybe 10th grade, and definitely what was learned in 11th grade. We're going to look at wars through a different lens. For instance, what was the reason for the war, the real reason? A lot of people said a border skirmish started the Mexican-American War, but really it was more over land. Why were wars won and lost? Why were specific battles won and lost? We talk about like troop morale, the aftermath of the war. Was the war justified? Was the Civil War justified? Was World War II getting involved justified? Today we were discussing the reasons for using the atomic bomb. I was always taught, yes, we should have used it, but what were the alternatives? Maybe I should look at that before making this decision. Anyways, I definitely put a lot of emphasis on the Revolution, Civil War, World War II, Vietnam, and then Iraq, Afghanistan. Some of the battles we look at, Pickett's Charge, Little Round Top, Battle of the Bulge, D-Day. And another thing is we look at this book here, and we were going to read this book, Sun Tzu, about a 5th century Chinese philosopher, and it's his whole book about the art of war. And he said this at one time, all battles have been won or lost before they were ever fought. So it's something to think about. Hopefully I see you next year. Thank you.
Tomorrow, we'll wrap up our overview of next year's electives with presentations about dance and acting. That's all for the GHS Reporter today. Remember to find today's announcements online and on Twitter at GHS Announcement. I'm Andre Valverde. Today is a C Day. Have a good day.